What's up, y'all? You're watching Union Minded, and I am your host, Eric. Today is election day. It's election day, so I'm going to give you my election day breakdown. What do I think is going to happen? We're going to talk about three things. First thing we're going to talk about is the vote. Your vote, more importantly, and why it's an important tool in your bag of survival. Second thing we're going to talk about is what may happen throughout the course of the night, vis-a-vis the election and how it's counted up and what may come about. And lastly, and most importantly, we're going to talk about my prediction for the election and for whatever comes next. So let's dive on in. Mash the like button, comment, share, subscribe, all the good stuff. You already know it. I don't say it often. Please hook a brother up. Anyway, number one, I want to talk about the vote. Your vote. Your vote. Picture life as a video game, right? And you start at a point. Picture it as a non-linear game. You start at a point and you can go in any direction. And every single direction that you choose has perils and pitfalls and dangers, and they're all you're naked going through it. And you have a bag, and in that bag is your survival kit. It's your tools. One of your least appreciated yet most valuable tool in this game we call life is your vote. Your vote in federal elections, your vote in state elections, your vote in local elections, your vote in union elections, your vote on your HOA board, your vote for the school board, all of this stuff. Your vote is one of the most important tools in your survival bag. Your vote is one of the most powerful tools to affect the conditions around you in your video game. From opportunities that may be available, to working conditions you have to work under and labor under, to the wages that you make, to the conditions of the school your children have to attend. Your vote. If it were not so powerful a tool, conservatives wouldn't spend their time trying to limit voter turnout. When voter turnout is low, conservative politicians who rule for corporations exploit that and win. When voter turnout is high, the more progressive party and ideologies tend to win. And that's just one of the bare truths about your vote, how powerful it is. More powerful than your vote in your bag of tools, though, is your interaction with each other. Your activism in a community is more powerful and has more of an impact to you than your vote. Your activity within your union is more impactful than your vote. The more you interact with each other and build a strong community, that's when you start to really see change. That's when you start to really shake the trees of power. And what we don't realize as voters and as people who are playing this game is how much closer we are to being able to control the levers of power than we know. We think it's impossible. We put all our hopes and dreams in one person. We don't understand the idea of the collective. We are so individualized. We are so separated, and we are preyed upon as individuals that we can't see the power in unity. And every so often a leader comes along that really gets the masses to understanding their power in collectivism, and those leaders tend to be assassinated. They tend to be killed. Think Martin Luther King. Think Malcolm X. These leaders, Fred Hampton, these leaders oftentimes get killed. So our vote is powerful, but our collectivism is far more powerful. And I hope you leave this video with that understanding. It's our collective action that really hits home the most. What may happen throughout the course of tonight, we may see a red mirage. What is that? A red mirage occurred in 2020. And what happens is election day voting gets counted first, and Republicans tend to vote on election day at higher numbers than Democrats. And so early on when they're counting the vote, it seems in the early counting that the Republicans may be ahead. Donald Trump may be winning. And that's what's called the red mirage. Now, how big will that red mirage be? Only God knows, right? Who knows how big that red mirage may be, or even if it will happen. But what you may see is a red mirage. Something where the early indicators are that, oh wow, the Republicans look like they're going to win. But then what happens is the mail-in ballots come in and all the rest of the votes that took place come in, and the Democrats tend to catch up. And then the end is what the final count is. And in 2020, it was that Joe Biden won the election. Democrats took the presidency. The red mirage is a possibility. And it's something that we should be on the lookout for, because I guarantee you Donald Trump is going to try to exploit any kind of red mirage and claim victory. And then when the mail-in ballots get counted and Kamala Harris passes him, it'll be a fake election and they stole the election, much like 2020, which, as we all know, he had 60 court cases. And his court cases got thrown out because he didn't have standing. And what a lot of people like to say is they didn't even look at the evidence. Yes, they did. But in order to bring a case in a court, your evidence has to at least signal that there was actually a crime here. When your evidence is baloney and it doesn't signal anything, you don't have standing and your case is thrown out, rightfully so. And a lot of those cases that were thrown out by Trump-selected judges. These are things that we have to understand if we're going to understand the world around us and decipher this nonsense. So beware of the red mirage. It is possible. Now, my prediction. What is my prediction? I don't think we're going to see a red mirage. I think Harris-Walz is going to win in a landslide. I don't think it's going to be particularly close. I do think Trump is going to fall onto his belly, pound his fists, and kick his feet and cry as an infant, because that's his MO. But I think that America is moving forward, not looking back. I don't think we're going back. I really do think that this election is not going to be particularly close. It's going to be overwhelming, much like the Obama 08 win, when it was overwhelming and a supermajority was obtained. I think we're in for that type of night. And I think that the pollsters are hedging their bets. I think they're embarrassed from getting it wrong so often. The Iowa poll recently kind of showed that the surge for Kamala is real. And so, yeah, man, I think we're going to save democracy tonight. Yay, we get to fight tomorrow. Now, here's the important thing you need to think about. Win, lose, or draw tonight after a Harris win. The work continues tomorrow. You don't rest on your laurels. We won? Great. Now's when we make our demands of the new administration. Now's when we make our demands. Say, hey, we got you there. It's time to get to work. So understand, your vote is a very powerful tool in your bag. Your activism is a very, very, very powerful tool in your tool bag. And your collectivism is the most powerful tool in your tool bag. Use your tools wisely, and let's change the world. My name's Eric. You're watching Union Minded. Remember that the fight is not left and right. It is up and down. It's going to take solidarity to win always. Each one teach one. Get out there and reach one. And remember, there could be no union without you and I, front and center. So let's go.